pretty woman, rebel, reformer, Ameerah Al Taweel. Why is she called the Princess Diana of the East? And how did she change the lives of millions of women in Saudi Arabia? Listen to the story. Amazing woman who is admired all over the world. To find out the answers to these questions, be sure to watch the video until the end. Princess Ameerah Al Taweel used to be married to Saudi Prince Al Walid bin Talal Al Saud. She was one of the first women in her country to stop wearing the traditional abaya, which is a closed robe, and instead chose to wear stylish, modern clothes. Her actions broke stereotypes about Arab women. In many Muslim countries, women are expected to dress modestly with their heads covered when in public. Saudi Arabia has traditionally had very strict rules about how women should dress according to Islamic customs. Ameerah's bold decision to wear modern clothing challenged these traditional norms. She symbolized change and modernity for many women in Saudi Arabia and beyond. Her courage inspired others to rethink cultural expectations and embrace new ways of expressing themselves. Despite facing criticism and controversy, Ameerah continued to advocate for women's rights and empowerment. Decisions for women in Saudi Arabia were traditionally made by their husbands or fathers. Women were not allowed to drive cars or even ride bicycles. However, much has changed in the country, thanks to Ameerah Al Taweel, a brave and kind woman born in 1983 in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. Her parents separated when she was young, so she was raised by her mother and grandmother. As a child, Ameerah dreamed of becoming a doctor to help people. When she was 18, her life took a big turn when she met Prince Al Walid, who would later become her husband. Their meeting was a bit like a scene from the movie 50 Shades of Grey. She was a student journalist for her school newspaper, and he was one of Saudi Arabia's most powerful and wealthy men. However, unlike the character Mr. Grey in the movie, the prince wasn't as young or handsome. Despite their differences, Ameerah and Prince Al Walid's relationship drew attention. Ameerah became known not just as a princess, but also for her courage and determination to challenge traditional norms in Saudi society. Their age difference was 28 years, but that didn't stop them from getting married just 9 months after they first met. Ameerah found herself in a world of incredible luxury. She traveled with her husband, Al Walid, on business trips and to social events. Al Walid bin Talal Al Saud is incredibly wealthy, listed in Forbes magazine with a fortune of more than $18 billion. His main palace in Riyadh is enormous, with over 300 rooms filled with marble, pools, and portraits of him. One of the most amazing things about Al Walid is that he owns a special airplane called the Flying Palace. It's the only plane like it in the world and is super giant. The plane even has an elevator that goes between its 3 floors. Ameerah's life with Al Walid was filled with luxury and extravagance, showing the incredible wealth and power of the Saudi prince. Despite the glamour and riches, Ameerah's life was also marked by her own achievements and efforts to make. She used her position to advocate for women's rights and social change in Saudi Arabia, becoming a role model for many women around the world. In addition to luxury amenities like electronic prayer mats that automatically turn toward Mecca, a concert hall with a grand piano entertains guests during flights on Ameerah's husband's special airplane. There's also a boardroom, Turkish bath, and a garage for his Rolls-Royce. Ameerah pursued her education in the United States after marrying, earning a degree in business administration. As a socially active princess, she founded foundations supporting medicine, education, and women's rights. For years, Ameerah has advocated for Saudi women to have the right to drive, work, and pursue education without needing permission from their husbands or fathers. She's close friends with Manal al-Sharif, a famous activist in Saudi Arabia. Manal made history as the first Saudi woman to drive a car and share a video of it on YouTube. Sadly, she was jailed for 9 days for this act. Ameerah's efforts and friendships highlight her commitment to advancing women's rights in Saudi Arabia. Despite her lavish her influence and resources to push for important social changes, making a difference in her country and inspiring others around the world. Ameerah admired Manal as a brave and brilliant woman. In other Muslim countries, like Iran, there are also issues with women's rights. Do you know thousands of young people protesting against the hijab? Ameerah didn't let traditional expectations hold her back. She took part in TV and radio debates alongside men, which was unusual for a Muslim country. In 2011, 2011, she even attended a session called Voices of Change in the Middle East and North Africa, where she spoke with former U.S. President Bill Clinton. Ameerah often appeared in the media without covering her face, talking openly about driving and women's rights, which upset her husband's older brother. He publicly criticized her, saying it dishonored the family and warned of serious consequences. Despite these threats, Ameerah stayed true to herself and continued to advocate for what she believed in. Her courage and determination made her a role model for many women, showing that it's important to stand up for your beliefs even when facing opposition. In 2013, Ameerah and her husband unexpectedly got divorced after being married for 11 years. It was Ameerah who decided to file for divorce, which surprised many Saudis. They never had children together, and rumors suggested their marriage contract prevented Ameerah from having a child with the prince, who already had 2 heirs. The main reason for their split was Ameerah's strong, independent image. While she was loved by millions of ordinary people, her independence and popularity annoyed some of the prince's royal relatives. In a short time, Ameerah became known as the Princess Diana of the Arab world. Despite the divorce, Ameerah remains active and spends most of her time on charity work. She has traveled to over 70 countries, fighting poverty and helping communities recover from natural disasters. Her efforts even led to the establishment of the Center for Islamic Studies at Cambridge University. After her divorce from her first husband, Ameerah remained dedicated to humanitarian efforts. She established an orphanage in West Africa and set up a fund to assist the poor in Somalia, which she personally oversees. Her motto is "Evolution, not Revolution." 5 years later, Ameerah married billionaire Khalifa bin Boudi Al Muhairi in a lavish secret ceremony at Château de Vaux-le-Vicomte Palace in France. The guest list included royalty, aristocrats, and celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King. A year after their wedding, Ameerah and Khalifa welcomed a son named Zayed. They now reside near Paris. In 2017, Ameerah's ex-husband faced legal trouble when he was arrested in connection with a corruption scandal. Al-Walid spent nearly 3 months in detention before being released after paying a substantial fine to the state treasury. Despite the ups and downs in her personal life, Ameerah continues to focus on making a positive impact through philanthropy and social initiatives. Her commitment to helping those in need and promoting education and welfare programs reflects her enduring dedication to humanitarian causes. On June 24, 2018, the King of Saudi Arabia made a historic decision to allow women to drive. Before this, Saudi Arabia was the last country in the world where women were prohibited from driving and faced punishment if caught behind the wheel. Ameerah Al Taweel, along with other socially active women, played a crucial role in this change, not just in Saudi Arabia, but across the Muslim world. Their advocacy continues to impact millions of women, inspiring discussions about women's rights globally. It's important to consider what rights women are still fighting for worldwide and where rights may be violated in different countries. Share your thoughts about the story in the comments. If you enjoyed this story and want more updates, please subscribe to the channel Royal Reveal and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching and see you next time.